Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm Other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up in all sports. Pick it up in all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Well, good evening and welcome back here as we've got the 43rd District Area Ball with William Warfield tonight. It's Paul Lawrence Dunbar and Lexington Catholic girls battling. Nick Runyon coaches Paul Dunbar and Scott True, the coach of Lexington Catholic, and William Warfield alongside as well. Coming up tonight, we have the boys game, and that will be Lafayette and Lexington Catholic boys at 8 o'clock, and a special guest, Nate Valentine. The Lexington Christian coach is going to join us, William, on that broadcast tonight. And I know you're still battling a little bit of a cold, but you're feeling a little bit better. But I tell you what, we should have two really good games here tonight. I think this Lexington Catholic Dunbar girls game is another one that could go down to the wire.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. I think the Knights have come on here, last part of the season especially, got a couple of good quality wins, and I think they're feeling it tonight. You could see Lexington Catholic maybe perhaps, I wouldn't call it an upset, but maybe perhaps get a victory today over Dunbar.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Sarah Bond, she hit that big three in that game we did over at Catholic and won the game, and I'm looking to see how she performs tonight. Caroline Osborne. The reason I say that is because they're seniors, So, you look for your seniors to step up in the district tournament and perform there for Mr. Kevin Brueggemann is in the house. Of course, football coach and assistant AD there at Catholic, and the crowd is picking up here. This place will be packed for the boys game coming up at 8 o'clock. You wish people got out and supported the girls a little better, but kind of a sparse crowd in here, really, when you look at the far side over there, William, for a tournament game. You would think that more folks would come out. Although Dunbar's record is not sterling, Catholic's record is not sterling. It is the 43rd district, and folks need to get out and support these young folks as they play tournament basketball.
So we still got people coming into the gym. I think, you're going to see a lot of the Lexington Catholic students get here probably around halftime, get ready for that boys game. So, you'll probably see a lot of those kids here. And then, Dunbar, of course, as well. They might be paying attention to that boys game tonight, too. Girls game, it's a big game. Yes, everybody agrees with that. But the fans they don't seem to show up as much as they do for the boys for some reason.
Well, that also could mean one thing. We got a lot of folks home watching on PrepSpin, right? an HD.
Possibly,
So
yeah.
I've already had folks ask me where their friends in Mason County can watch the game. I said just go to PrepSpin.com, and now we're getting set for the starting lineups here tonight. Dunbar will be the home team in the white with the red and the black. Lexington Catholic, the visitors on the scoreboard. You hear the band right off to our right here, the Catholic Pep Band. They're loud and proud, aren't they, William Moorfield?
They sure are.
They're loud and proud.
These seats are vibrating up here.
It is Lexington Catholic and Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Of course, everybody remembers that Dunbar team a few years ago that Sarah Breidenball coached all the way to the semifinals of the Cages AA Girls Sweet 16. Kind of a rebuilding year for Coach Runyon, but nevertheless, they've got some players, young players that are really starting to step up, and we really like the Michaela Cecil girl. We're just about set for the national anthem, and then we'll have the starting lineups here tonight at Jackson Carlisle Gymnasium.
Gary, we're going to step out for a commercial break. We'll be right back here from Lafayette in just a few minutes.
Starting line has been announced by Justin Denton, the public address announcer, and starting Caroline Osborne, the senior, averaging 10 points. Solid player, shoots well from the free throw line. And the other starter, Ashley Freebus, the sophomore. And we both, William, you and I both like Freebus. I think she's going to be a really good player for Catholic. She's only a sophomore. The other starter will be Jay Ballard, the freshman. And Sarah Bond, the senior, getting the start as well. And Lakin Pinkerman, the junior. Those are your 5 starters for Scott True and the Lexington Catholic Lady Knights. They are the visitors on the scoreboard here tonight at Lafayette High School. 43rd District basketball. Gary Ball, William Warfield. And William, we certainly want to thank White, Greer, and Maggard for all they do for PrepSpin and all they do for high school sports. White, Greer, and Maggard. I understand tomorrow night we're going to have a special guest on the boys game tomorrow night. Is that right?
That's right. Dr. White going to stop by and chat with us and talk about all of his support for all these high schools here in Central Kentucky, and talk about how he's helping us here at PrepSpin as well.
Now the starters, looks like Ella Simpson, the junior, is going to get the start. Tonight it'll be Autumn Hereford, and it will be Peyton Humphreys. And they don't have their jerseys off yet, the Dunbar girls. Only one did, so we're going to check the starters for you as soon as they all get ready to play here. Now we see Ania Cotton is going to start tonight as well. She will wear number 24. It'll be Autumn Hereford, one of the leading scorers, Michaela Cecil. What about this sophomore, William? Cecil averages 20 points a game for the Dunbar Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, and Lexington Catholic is going to have a hard time dealing with her because she's one of those players that likes to get out and run with it, create her own shots, Gary. But you do got 3 seniors on Lexington Catholic's team that, you know, Caroline Osborne, Sarah Bond, 2 of them in the game right now that, you know, are going to just have to step up tonight for Lexington Catholic.
It'll be Autumn Hereford, the junior, 5'11". She'll jump it up, and going up will be Pinkerman. Tampa's controlled, and Dunbar has it with the basketball. On the left side there is Cecil. She's the big-time scorer. Cecil crossing over down the lane. Strong move to the basket off glass. No, and pulling down the rebound there is Caroline Osborne. A jump ball called, so possession arrow, since Dunbar had it first, will go to Catholic.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in our stands up here, so if you see the camera shake every now and then, you'll know why. But lot of people around us.
Caroline Osborne for Catholic. They have to get it across the line, went to Ballard. They skip it over to Sarah Bond. Bond goes baseline. She's got an open lane, and coming over to block it was Hereford. Nice job by Autumn Hereford to get the block here. She comes streaking in the front court. No score here early. Hereford to the basket, off glass, good.
Well, she knew exactly where she was at on the floor, Gary.
And how about that, Williams? She got the block on the other end after her teammate fell down. She recovered and blocked it and took it all the way down. Now she gets almost a steal there, but great hustle by Freebus. Now they got a 3-on-1, and stopping with it is Ballard. Ballard goes to the right side, and that shot rolls off of there. Good look there for Pinkerman, the junior. 2-0. Hereford has the only basket of the ball game. Cecil down the lane, throws it up front of the iron, no, draws the foul. Or did they call travel?
I think they called traveling on it.
Travel before the contact. So 2-0. Dunbar on top here early. Just we have played exactly 1 minute of basketball here. The girls' 43rd district. Gary Ball, William Warfield on the White Greer Maggard High School basketball game of the week. Thanks to all of our other sponsors too. We'll be telling you about them throughout the evening as well. We've got some great tournament sponsors, don't we, William?
We sure do, and we appreciate all of them for stepping up.
Angling toward the right side, Osborne. Here's a three-pointer and knocked down on the right side by Ballard. Boy, Ballard. Jay Ballard, the freshman, with a big three, and it's 3-2. Lady Knights take the first lead of the ball game after the 2-0 start by Dunbar.
You know, Jay Ballard, it's hard to believe that she's a freshman. She's really led Lexington Catholic this year. Stepped in and played big time for them.
Cecil has it, looking for the pick there from Simpson. Gets one, now hands it back out top to Cotton. Cotton down low into the basket with the scoop, and missing the layup there was Humphreys. Peyton Humphreys, a sophomore, had a good look at it. Across the line, Lexington Catholic. They go over now to Caroline Osborne. Swing it back out top to Ballard, who hit the big three. Goes to Sarah Bond. Swing it out top, and there's a high arcing three. Bullseye! Knocked down for Ballard again. So Ballard back-to-back three. She's got 6, and the lead is 6-2 Catholic. Dunbar doesn't know what hit him right now. It's called Ballard is what's hit him. Yeah. Jay Ballard. 6-2, Lex Cath. Open shot, 10-footer, knocked down there. Nicely done with a nice easy shot by Humphreys. 6-4, Cotton with the assist. Humphreys with the bucket at 6-4. Ballard's knocked down 2 big threes for the Lady Knights. Open is Freebus, right on the left elbow. Skips it back out to Osborne. Catholic in the blue, Dunbar in the white. Gary Ball, William Warfield here on PrepSpin. Down low the go. That's going to be an over-the-back call as they tried to go down low to Pinkerman. And over the back is going to be called against Dunbar, and it's going to go against Simpson, her first, team's first. Trouble getting it in, wide open in the corner was Ballard screaming for the ball, and she didn't see her, William.
Didn't at all, and Lexington Catholic kind of spreading everything out right now.
They lead 6-4. Couple three-pointers by Ballard here early on. Ballard's got it. There's Sarah Bond. Bond down the left elbow. Cut off, in trouble. Ball knocked away. Good hands there by Cotton. And coming down there with it, Cecil. Cecil wanted to run in. Goes in on Osborne. Throws it up. No, the foul's going to be called on Caroline Osborne.
Catholic's got to stay physical with Dunbar because Dunbar, they play very physical out there. As you've seen, Cotton with that takeaway. It's just that, Dunbar much more physical out there on the court right now than Catholic is. Catholic's got to step it up, Gary.
They really do, and the free throw is going to be knocked down by Michaela Cecil, a 5'5 sophomore that averages 20 points a game, one of the leading scorers in the 11th region. She's looking for her second free throw that would tie this game up, 4:47, and it rolls in there. Cecil with the 2 free throws makes it 6-all now, and Catholic very deliberately getting to Osborne. She goes over now to her teammate there, and that's Ballard. They've yet to cross the timeline. They finally get it to Bond. She goes down low. Good pass. Freebus lays it up and in. What a nice pass by Sarah Bond to Ashley Freebus. Wide open on 8-6 Catholic to the basket. Cecil throws up an errant shot. Kind of a wailing shot. Just kind of threw it up toward the basket, didn't she? Mm-hmm. And we're going to get Mayo Given in, the freshman. I talked to her mother earlier tonight. And going out Pinkerman. And let's see who else checked in there for the I believe that was Carpenter.
Yep, you're right.
Got the rosters right here in front of me. Wide open, and shot put up and in there for Cotton. Maya Cotton got the open. 8-8 score. In backcourt with it is Given. Swing it over now to Carpenter. Back it goes to Sarah Bond. Bounces over to Ballard. Ballard hit those 2 threes. Now she's getting a lot more attention, isn't she, William?
Yeah, they kind of closed her off a little bit out there.
Shot won't go on a point-blank shot there for Carpenter. We're tied at 8. We said this should be a good one. Right now it's been a dandy. Cecil working in the front court. Good defense there by Carpenter, Kennedy Carpenter. We're going to have a traveling call and turn it over to the Lady Knights.
You see, Dunbar, the intensity's picked up for their team here.
Yeah,
ever since those 2 threes by Ballard.
The young lady just checked in. The folks can see her. She's got so much hair covering up that number, you can't see her number in the back of her jersey. But I do know it's Cheyenne Fullwood because I remember seeing Dunbar play over in Catholic earlier when you and I did that game. So Fullwood in the game. Out top, there's another 3 off the iron there by Miss Ballard, I believe, shot that again, did she not? Yes, she did. Here's a 3-pointer by Cecil off the iron, and nice rebound by Carpenter. Diving on the floor, Fullwood, and we're going to have a jump ball called, and possession arrow this time favoring Dunbar as Caroline Osborne with 3:10 to go in the first half. Your score's 8-all, 6 points for Ballard. She leads everybody. Hereford has a bucket, Humphreys a basket, and Cecil 2 free throws for Dunbar. Big story so far has been Ballard with those 2 threes. 3:05 here in the first. Fullwood goes deep in the corner now. Back out to top, and in the corner it goes Fullwood. Back to Cecil.
Catholic in that 3-2 zone right now.
Another errant shot put up by Humphreys. Osborne streaking down court. Off glass, no. Picked up by Freebus. Goes to Sarah Bond. Baseline, off the rim, no. And knocked down, and the officials are going to look like they're going to give it back to Catholic. Yep, Catholic will get it back.
Yeah, you know, Catholic's getting some good shots. They're just not hitting right now. Ballard the only one pretty much.
Pinkerman back in, and Sarah Bond goes out. Pinkerman's got it deep on the right side, looking for help and cutters, and she's going to hand it back to Caroline Osborne. Good place to go with it. Osborne's very good ball handler. 8-8 score, 2:22 here in the first quarter. Lexington Catholic and Paul Dunbar girls 43rd District basketball. Winner moves on to the district championship Friday night. This is a semifinal game for these 2 and 3 seeds in this district.
And of course, the important thing too is they go on the regionals.
Exactly. I like that in Kentucky. You know, being a player that played high school ball in this state, I like the fact that the district winner and runner-up gets further play. Well, I tell you, Cecil, I like her game, William, but she plays a little bit out of control. I mean, she's had a couple shots she just threw up there, and she threw that up because she knew she drew the contact.
Right. Yeah, if you feel it, you know, definitely throw it up and see if you can get the call from the official.
Pinkerman picked up the first personal foul. Free throw connected there by Michaela Cecil, the sophomore. 3 points for her.
She's a good one already, but she's going to get even better as the next couple of years come around.
That's exactly right. 9-8, that's the first lead for Dunbar. She got both free throws. That makes it 10-8. Dunbar with a 2-point lead after Catholic jumped out on those 2 Ballard 3-pointers. Freebus looking. Comes over to Mayo Given. To the basket and shot a little bit short there by Pinkerman. And then second shot put up and in by Freebus, and she's fouled.
Ashley Freebus getting it done there. I like the second chance opportunities that Catholic's had so far. That kind of goes a long way here. Is could determine the outcome is what I'm trying to say, Gary.
And the rebounding, you're right. And, of course, we do have a stat crew here. No stat monitor tonight. WL's doing the Transylvania playoff game tonight at Transy. But we will get stats. Here's a 3-pointer right side, knocked down by who else? Cecil. She's already got 7 points.
They say that she could get a double-double on any given night. She's on her way now.
Jump ball called as Cecil was able to tie up Freebus. 13-10 on the Michaela Cecil deep 3 on the right side. She was standing right in front of the Catholic bench over there. She knocked that 3 down. Lexington Catholic has it. Jay Ballard. They need to get her open for some more 3s. She knocked down those 2 early, and she's obviously got a hot hand tonight. Osborne at the free throw line. Now kicks it back over to Pinkerman. They go to Given. She bounces back to Osborne. She spins, throws it up. Blocked right back to her. Now they kick it back outside. Ballard was almost set to go to Given. Long 3. Off the iron, no. and pulled down and rebounded there. Coming down with it was Hereford. Hereford down the lane and throws it up and in. Boy, a circus shot there by Autumn Hereford.
That's her style, though. You know, she attacks the basket as she gets the rebound, goes on the other end of the floor, and that's just her style.
15 to boy. Dunbar really applying some pressure, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They've definitely kicked it up here at tournament time, the pressure, haven't they?
Well, they keep switching on how they're doing their zone, and it's kind of throwing Catholic off guard.
Catholic's got to start knocking down some of those open threes. They're getting some good looks. That's going to be a travel call against Osborne, who was kind of knocked to the floor there. Thanks for watching tonight. We will give you our sponsors, of course, Central Bank, Whitaker Bank, also Raising Cane's, where we'll have a fan in the stand tonight that we'll interview. Looking forward to that, our fan in the stand.
That'd be good.
UK Sports Medicine, Roberts Insurance, Bob Roberts Insurance over in Richmond.
I want to send a shout-out to the guy that made our banners, too, Randy Gentry, over there at American Signs and Lighting. And just want to thank him for all he's done. They're located over in Nicholasville, Kentucky.
Thank you, Randy. 15 to 10, 5 seconds. Cecil launches another three off the iron. No, picked up, coming out there with it. Ballard launches from half court, and it's short. We head to the second quarter, and it is Dunbar with a 5-point lead, being led by Cecil, the sophomore, with 7 points. 6 points for Ballard in that quarter. We'll return here on the White Greer Maggard High School basketball 43rd District game here from Lafayette.
Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White Greer and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White Greer and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White Greer and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
And 43rd District basketball and PrepSpin brought to you by White Greer and Maggard, all sports in the Fayette Mall. Whitaker Bank, Raising Cane's, One Love, Roberts Insurance, Central Bank, Rafferty's Restaurants, UK Sports Medicine. Stay in the game with UK Sports Medicine. Gary Ball, William Warfield, and Dunbar girls on top 15 to 10. They got the leather to start the second quarter, and they've got a 5-point lead. That's Cecil. She had 7 in the first quarter, now working here in the second. Comes over to Fullwood. She goes baseline, blocked, and a great block there. Turned in by Cath Sarah Bond. Boy, she makes her presence felt when she's not scoring in other ways, doesn't she? Here she is on the left side, open from 3, front of the iron, no. And pulled out of there by Cecil. Wanted to run with it. 3 Catholic defenders back, though. Cecil sees that, recognizes it, and slows up a little bit. Cecil now penetrates the basket, throws it up, and that's going to be a charge call there. Really nice job there by Sarah Bond. That's what I'm talking about. When the shot's not going, she blocks shots, she takes charges, she rebounds. And, you and I don't have to sell you on Sarah Bond, do I?
No, not at all. She's been doing that for 4 years now at Lexington Catholic.
15 to 10, 7:18 to go here in the first half, and that is Caroline Osborne working it across. She goes back over now to Mayo Given, the freshman. Now goes to Osborne. She's got an open lane, cut off. Osborne to the basket. Strong move, lays it up and in.
That's really the key to Lexington Catholic tonight is Osborne. They got to get her as many opportunities as she can. She's got a great shot whenever she's got the opportunity.
Cecil throws one up, and over the back's going to be called. That's a good box out there by
Ballard.
Ballard with a good box out there, and the foul is going to be called over the back. It's going to go on Peyton Humphreys. So Humphreys with the over the back foul, and that's going to get Ella Simpson, the junior, back in the lineup for Dunbar, and going out will be Humphreys, who just picked up her second foul. 15 to 12. Dunbar by 3. Their biggest lead has been 5. Catholic led early by 4 on 2 big threes by Jay Ballard. She's been quiet since then, William. Scoring-wise, anyway. She's done other things. Caroline Osborne. Back over it goes now to Ballard. Osborne open from 3. In and out. And rebounded by Simpson. Comes Autumn Hereford with 2 baskets, 4 points for her. Goes out now to Cheyenne Fullwood. Fullwood comes back over to Cotton. Anaya Cotton. Back to Hereford. She's looking, and we're going to have a whistle and a clear out. It's going to be a foul against Dunbar. Fullwood picked it up. Team's fifth, and Coach Runyon of Dunbar just called a full timeout. 6:17 to go here in the first half, and Dunbar leading Lexington Catholic girls 15-12 here. White Greer Maggard game of the week, and we'll come back here after this timeout on PrepSpin.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up in all sports. Pick it up in all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White Greer and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White Greer and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
(15-12). Lady Bulldogs on top, but Catholic can tie on this trip with a three. Right side, they go wide open down underneath the basket, but kicking it back out was Carpenter. She was wide open. She turned around, shot the ball. She could have laid it in. Osborne. She comes over now to Freebus. Back out to Osborne. Ashley back in the game. Freebus goes now to Sarah Bond. Three-pointer off the iron, no. Rebounded, coming down with it was Anaya Cotton. I'll tell you, when Cotton gets the ball, you better get out of the way.
You're right about that.
Because you're not pulling it away from her is what I'm saying.
No, not at all.
Almost a travel there by Hereford. Goes off glass, rolls out. Nice rebound by Caroline Osborne. Great position. Long pass, and it's caught. Handed back now. Freebus throws it up, won't go. And, boy, good look. Freebus steals it back, turns around. Now Freebus is going to bring it back out on the dribble. Good job there by Freebus. Over to Caroline Osborne. Hereford's on her defensively. Come back out now to Ballard. Ballard over to Freebus. Cutting to the basket, it's Carpenter. They go in the corner to Bond. She's getting good defense there now by Cheyenne Fullwood with 5:02 to go in the first half, 15-12. Down low, open lane, and rolled up and in. Nicely done by Carpenter.
Well, you know, she created off that dribble. It was those couple of dribbles that she took that
may be a – I better check some numbers here on this. We don't have the
good defense by Jay Ballard. That's what Lexington Catholic's got to do, is create off the dribble. Dunbar working it around the horn here. Three. In and out of there. Freebus gets the rebound and is bumped immediately.
That's Maya Jankowski. I wanted to make sure because the roster's incorrect, William.
Yeah, they got her listed at 12 or something.
Well, they've got her at 30, but she's wearing number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
So Maya Jankowski. Sorry about that, folks, but that's what was on the roster.
Is it just Jasinski or Jankowski?
Jankowski, according to Miss Gibbons' mother.
Oh, okay.
Down low, wide open, and laid up and in by Jankowski. Now Jankowski gives the lead back to Catholic, 16-15. That's why it's so important that these coaches correct these rosters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious. It's not that hard. Right side it goes. Back out top now for Dunbar. Cotton. She hands it to Autumn Hereford. 3:52 to go in the first half. 16-15. There's going to be a grab, and it's going to be a foul on Jankowski. I mean, that's even the roster they turned into the district, William. On the roster in the district for the girls, it has Jankowski wearing number 30, but she's wearing number 2, so that's not even close. Let me tell you what I really think. Hereford right side, and it's a back of the rim. No. Battle for it. Tapped around. Freebus comes away with a rebound for Lex Cath. Hands it now to Ballard. She pounds it down.
Something tells me that book might have been made up before they turned them in.
It's just ridiculous, you know. I mean, you got one thing to do is turn in a correct roster. It's a program that they're selling here, so if they're going to sell you a program, at least put the right numbers in it. I mean, you know what I'm saying. That's just a pet peeve of mine, okay?
I get you.
As a broadcaster, I want you to at least tell me the right number. Now I'm done with that. 16-15, and with it is Sarah Bond. Bond goes to Caroline Osborne, three-pointer, knocks it down. 19-15, Catholic by 4. Big-time shot by Osborne. There's Hereford to the basket, off glass, yes. 6 points for Autumn Hereford. She averages 12 points, William, and 7 rebounds.
She is coming across like she could score at will tonight.
Yeah, she's got 6. Cecil leads them with 7, but they've shut her down here the last 4 or 5 minutes pretty much. Caroline Osborne to hit the big 3. Comes over to Freebus, left elbow. Freebus hands it now. They give it to Jankowski, who is wearing 2, not 30. Over to Bond. Cutter's going through. Osborne stops over Hereford and put it in. 7 for Caroline Osborne. 21-17.
That's a good cut to the basket.
It sure was. Strong move. And you know what? She knew what to do when she got it underneath there, didn't she? She put it right up over big 5'11" Autumn Hereford and knocked it off glass. 21-17. Pass goes to Cotton. Skip it over now to Autumn Hereford. She goes, and that's going to be too much contact there by Miss Bond. And Sarah's going to pick up the personal foul.
If Bond would have fell immediately as soon as she got hit there, instead of bouncing back and coming back at her.
Another good girls game. We had a great one last night as Lexington Christian pulled it out 51-48 over Creek. And we're going to have another close one here tonight. You can just tell, can't you?
Yeah. I think we're going to have back-to-back good games tonight.
Yeah, we got Lafayette boys and Catholic boys coming up at 8. Nate Valentine, the Lexington Christian coach, going to join me for that broadcast. Williams battling that bad cold. Hereford to the basket and put it in. She's got 8.
Yeah, she's the answer for Dunbar.
Right now with 8 points, she is. 21-19, she cuts it to 2 with a minute 36 in the first half. Sarah Bond, right side. Back to Osborne. Good pass down low. Jankowski lays it in.
How about that? She's been a difference maker since she's been in the ball game, giving Dunbar problems.
Yes, she's got 4 points now. 23-19. That is the 4-point lead for Catholic. Pounding it down is Michaela Cecil. Over to Autumn Hereford. Back to Hereford. She got it back from Cotton. That's Fullwood. Hands it back to Cecil. To the basket of Hereford, and she's cut off, tripped up, throws it up overhead, no good. Nice rebound by Caroline Osborne.
Yeah, Catholic cut off the easy side of the basket there and made her work for it. And she had to kind of throw up a trick shot. Didn't fall.
Kind of flipped it up over the back of her head, and it went off the back side of the rim.
It's hard to believe it. We're almost at halftime.
This has been a fast first half. We haven't had a whole lot of free throws. 16 fouls against Dunbar. 4 fouls have been called. So only a total of 10 fouls have been called. 30. And Catholic looks like they're going to be patient and take the last shot here with that 4-point lead, 23-19.
Yeah, I would too. That's good coaching over on the sideline by Coach True.
Scott True, what a tennis player. He's a really good tennis player. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I heard he was kind of like Billie Jean King out there.
We're going to have a battle of the sexes. Yeah, he's a really good tennis player. I've never actually played him because I'm not that good to play him. So, but I've heard he's a really good player.
Well, that's the only tennis player that comes to mind besides Andre Agassi.
Yeah,
he definitely doesn't look like Andre Agassi. So I said Billie Jean King.
Yep, I'm a big, of course, Roger Federer fan. I'm not a big Djokovic fan. I don't know why. I just don't. I can't warm up to Novak. I don't know why, but Roger Federer is a class act and a great tennis player, obviously.
Now his son Troy. If you look at Troy and you look at Peyton Manning, they look like they could be brothers.
By the way, that's 8 points for Caroline Osborne.
Mm-hmm.
How about check that 9? How about 9? She knocks down both free throws. Those are the first free throws tonight for the Knights, and Osborne makes it hurt, and Catholic has their biggest lead of 6.
Well, and they started distributing, the shots to everybody too. Bonds got in on the action. Osborne, Jasinski,
I'll be
in Osborne.
That's right. I'll be back for the boys' game tonight and the boys' game tomorrow night. I've got the Scholastic Ball Report TV show to do tomorrow night, but I'm going to cut that out there a little short, and I'll be here for the boys' game with who's joining us for that for tomorrow night? Oh, Dr. White.
Dr. White, yeah.
To the basket, and Cecil tied up. What defense by Freebus? Freebus said no, and that's going to do it for the first half. And Lexington Catholic girls take a 25-19 lead into the locker room over Paul Dunbar here at the 43rd District Girls Basketball Tournament. Again, thanks to White, Greer, and Maggard, All Sports, Whitaker Bank, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Rafferty's Restaurants, UK Sports Medicine, and Central Bank. We are at halftime, and the lead belongs to Lexington Catholic, 25-19. We'll return with some first half stats here on the White, Greer, Maggard 43rd District Girls Basketball Tournament.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. Every day, no matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
By the numbers, Whitaker Bank loves the Kentucky communities we serve.
1,876 small businesses in Kentucky were financed by Whitaker Bank last year.
Whitaker Bank helped 2,415 Kentucky families make a house a home last year by financing their mortgage.
Over $3 million loaned to Kentucky families and small businesses to help them achieve their dream.
We share your passion, Kentucky. Love the bank that loves you back. Whitaker Bank is uniquely Kentucky.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Kentucky's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the Kentucky High School Athletic Directors Association.
Gary Ball, William Warfield back here at the girls' 43rd District. Let's take a look at some first half numbers here. First for Lexington Catholic, Maya Jazuski did a great job coming off the bench, William. 3 of 4 from the field, had 6 points off the bench. That's the difference of the ball game right now, what she did off the bench. But what a great half by Caroline Osborne. 9 points. Listen to these numbers. 9 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. That's what you call a stat stuffer right there.
That sure is. I mean, what a great first half for that young lady.
Ashley Freebus, she had 4 points in the first half on 2 of 3 shooting. She did a nice job. Ballard had those 2 threes early. They got them going. They're 3 of 9 from three-point range, by the way. Lakin Pinkerman started and was unable to score in that first half. Sarah Bond did a nice job with rebounding, but she was 0 for 4 from the field in that first half. I look for her to pick it up in the second half. Autumn Hereford led Dunbar with 4 of 7 shooting. She had 8 points in the first half and 3 rebounds. Looking at other scores, Fullwood had 2 rebounds. Peyton Humphreys had 2 points. 7 points for Shay Cecil. She also had 2 rebounds. 1 of 7 shooting, though, so they did a nice job on her. She knocked down 4 free throws, so most of her points, William, came at the charity stripe. Cotton started, had 2 points, but did have 2 rebounds. Let's look at some team numbers. 10 of 24 for the Lady Knights. That's 42% from the field in the first half. They were 3 of 9 behind the arc, 33%. They were 2 of 3 at the free throw stripe, 67% for Catholic girls. They out-rebounded Dunbar girls 16-11 in that first half. And Dunbar, looking at their total assists in the game, they had a total of 5 assists, whereas and you talked about it, William. You talked about the movement of that basketball there, especially in that second quarter. 8 assists in the first half for the Lady Knights, led by Caroline Osborne with 3 of those 8 assists.
Well, I think the big difference in that was they created off dribbles in that second quarter as opposed to the first half. They were just taking jump shots. Once they put that ball on the floor, they were able to create some shots a little bit better.
6 turnovers for Dunbar. Cecil had 3 of those 6, and just 4 turnovers in the first half by the Lady Knights of Lexington Catholic. Numbers for Dunbar, they were 7 of 19 from the field, 37%. 1 of 5 from three-point for just 20%. 4 of 4, Cecil hit all 4 of them, 100% free throw shooting. Look at some other numbers in this game. The free throw points, of course, 4-2. Dunbar led that edge. Got out-rebounded 16-11. And some other key points in the paint. Dunbar got 8 points in the paint, and the Lady Knights 4 points in the paint. And those are some numbers from this game here tonight for Dunbar and Lexington Catholic. The big number, though, is Catholic leads 25-19. And you know, what a turnaround, because at one point, Dunbar led 15-10.
Yeah.
So since Dunbar led 15-10, Catholic went on a they had 10, so they went on a 15-4 run. A 15-4 run there to take this 25-19 lead with that big 15-4 spurt there, and it was really sparked by Caroline Osborne.
It was. Yeah, she started finding some shots here and there, and like you said, gave a spark to the Catholic offense, and they needed that. She needs to step up tonight, and she did.
So those are the numbers from the first half. Thanks to the stat crew from Lexington Catholic, Glenn and Gary, for those stats. We'll come back with second half action here.
I thought it was Harry and Larry.
Harry and Larry. Gary and Glenn, I believe it is.
Is it Gary and Glenn? I thought for some reason all season long I've been calling Harry and
Larry.
They've
been doing stats for Catholic forever. 25-19. Lexington Catholic Girls League coming up at 8 o'clock. It'll be the Lexington Catholic boys against the Lafayette boys at 8 o'clock. And Nate Valentine will be our special guest commentator, the coach of Lexington Christian. Got a big win last night over Tate's Creek. We'll come back with 43rd District Girls action after this timeout on PrepSpin.
All S, all P, all O, R, T, S. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Hi, I'm Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Nick Runyon trying to get his first tournament win here for Dunbar tonight, the first-year head coach. And we start the second half. They go down low, and with it, Bond has it blocked, and a nice block there turned in by Dunbar. And making that nice block was Humphreys. Peyton Humphreys, a sophomore. 25-19, Catholic on top, but Dunbar gets the big block there, William. Kind of a defensive momentum builder there to start the second half. 7:30 to go in the third. Gary Ball, William Warfield here on PrepSpin. Ball goes off the fingertips of Autumn Hereford into the Dunbar bench. It will go to Lexington Catholic. So you get the block shot down on this end and the turnover down on the Dunbar end. So both teams not good possessions in their first one, but you give credit where credit's due. That was a great block by Peyton Humphreys on the Catholic end of things. 7:20 to go in the third, 25-19. Pass in the middle goes to Ballard. Good, and laid up and in. Great pass by Ballard as she found Pinkerman. First basket for Lake and Pinkerman. 27-19, 8-point lead for the Lady Knights, their largest lead.
You know, that's something else that Catholic's done very good is when Dunbar applies that double team, Catholic's been able to find that open player out there and get them to the basket.
Cheyenne Fullwood, she hands it now to Cecil. Cecil had 7 points, but she was limited to scoring no points in the second quarter. All those 7 were in the first quarter of action. So they defended her well in that second period. That's why they have this lead, I think. But Cecil trying to get on track. Spinning there on Pinkerman. Hands it now to Autumn Hereford. Humphreys lines it up. Back of the rim, no. A nice rebound there by Sarah Bond.
The senior getting it done.
Over to Osborne. Caroline had 6 rebounds in the first half to go with those 9 points. She'll have a double-double tonight, I'm quite sure. 27-19.
She's on par.
Lex Cath girls on top here at the girls' 43rd. Bad pass, but saved there. Right side and thrown up and in. Nicely done there by Pinkerman. Pinkerman's come out and knocked down 2 big shots here to start the second half of action.
What a great shot there by Pinkerman.
And the ball is put back up and in by Hereford. So Pinkerman with the nice shot. Oh, excuse me, that was Peyton Humphreys. I had some folks stand up in front of me and got a little discombobulated.
That's a mighty big word, Mr. Ball.
I can't spell it. Across the line, Lady Knights, 29-21. Peyton Humphreys with a big shot there to stem the dike a little bit for Dunbar. 29-21 Catholic, 5:32 in the third quarter. Sarah Bond looking. Comes over to Pinkerman. Pinkerman's had a great start to the basket again. Throws it up and in. And they're going to how about this start by Lake and Pinkerman? Did not even score in the first half. Has 6 quick points here in the first 2.5 minutes of the second half.
You know, she quickly made her debut earlier in the season, Gary, and when she did, she's been a force. And she's been a mainstay for Lexington Catholic in the lineup.
And she's a 5'9" junior. She's back next year.
Mm-hmm.
Some key losses, though, when you look at Sarah Bond and Caroline Osborne.
Yeah, those are big losses.
7 for Pinkerman here in the third quarter. And the lead is 11, which is the largest for Lex Cath. 32-21. They lead Dunbar. Winner moves on to the district final on Friday night. We'll have all that action. All the 43rd district games right here on PrepSpin. Tomorrow night, both games. Lafayette girls taking on Lexington Christian. And the boys' game will be Dunbar as they will take on Lexington Christian. Later tonight, it'll be Lafayette, Lexington Catholic boys. Cecil. They're really defending her. Pinkerman's got the defensive job. Cecil throws it up and travel with it. And she also kind of stepped on Pinkerman's ankle. She's a little gimpy now.
Yeah, she's shaking up just a little bit.
She'll have to go out of the ball game, and quickly coming back in will be Maya Jenzowski.
She rolled it just a little bit, didn't she?
She did. Well, did you see the ankle, the picture of Derek Willis's ankle?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that's ugly.
Yeah, that was.
He'll be out for a while.
He had ugly feet to begin with.
Yeah, they're ugly to begin with. Now that they're all bruised and swollen and everything, I feel sorry for the guy, though, because he has really taken advantage of his opportunity this year, hasn't he?
Yeah.
32-21, quick 30-second timeout here. Again, I want to tell you about our great sponsors here. White, Greer, and Maggard. Dr. White will join us tomorrow night on the boys' game. All sports in the Fayette Mall, Whitaker Bank, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Central Bank, Rafferty's, and UK Sports Medicine. All those folks sponsoring high school tournament basketball. We're here all week. We got the boys' game coming up. Nate Valentine, the coach of Lexington Christian, is going to join me for that broadcast to let my man William Warfield save his throat a little bit. He's been battling what is that, like cold or a sinus infection? What you got going on there, Mr. Warfield?
I don't know what it is, man. I tell you
it's
what,
pretty bad, though.
I drunk my Zija thanks to my good friend Robbie Davis hooking me up with some Zija product, and it seemed to make me a little bit better. I just got that itch in the back of my throat right now.
You know, the story of this half has been Lakin Pinkerman, 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't score in the first half. She got 7 here in the first 3 minutes of this quarter, and that has sparked the Lady Knights out to an 11-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
Swing it back out top now. It goes to Ballard. Back over to Sarah Bond. Caroline Osborne. She goes over to Freebus. Ashley stops, thought about it. Now looking for Ballard. Said Osborne lines up the 3. In and out. Rebounded by Osborne. Carolyn stops right side. Throws it up. No, too strong. And rebounded by Peyton Humphreys.
Yeah, Bond in there as well for Lexington Catholic. But, man, I tell you what. Its seniors are battling down low right now.
With the ball is Dunbar. That's Shay Cecil. She goes to the basket, throws it up, no, and she's having a rough night tonight so far. From the field, anyway. 1 for 10. 32-21. Gary Ball, William Warfield here on PrepSpin. And it's Lexington Catholic and Dunbar Girls, 43rd District. White, Greer, Maggard, our title sponsor. Caroline Osborne down the lane. Osborne in traffic, knocked away by Peyton Humphreys, and picked up coming out of there with it is Cotton. Cotton works down, stopped on the blow block, gives it out top, and Hereford lines up to 3 and knocks it down.
A big shot for her.
That is 11 now for Autumn Hereford, the junior. Mm-hmm. And that really, really helps Dunbar's cause. And here's going to be a foul. Jenzowski trying to put it up, and she's going to be fouled there by Dunbar. Simpson picked it up. So at the line will be Milo Jenzowski. 32-24. 30 make that 33-24. Jenzowski now with 7 points. She had 6 in the first half off the bench. 3:23 to go here in the third quarter. 9-point lead.
Just want to apologize to folks back home. The camera's shaking up here because we got people up here in the stands where we're at, and there's a lot of people in there right now on our side.
And Kowski knocked them both down, and she has 8 points now, and it's 34-24. Lady Knights trying to get to that district final Friday. And by the way, that would put them in the 11th region tournament over at Eastern next week. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be big time. You know, over at Eastern, they got the camera decks up there, so we won't have to worry about,
right. They take good care of us over at Eastern, don't they?
They do.
And
Lafayette does too.
Yeah, Lafayette. All the teams in Lexington really take care of us quite well, and we appreciate it because I think they appreciate what we're trying to do and bring these games to folks that can't make it out here for whatever reason. I'm a little bit quite perplexed by this crowd. I thought there'd be a much bigger crowd for this tournament game.
Well, yeah, Gary, if you look over here below you where you can't quite see.
Yeah, that's true. There are some people over there. Yeah, you're right. But I'm talking about along the way. The only fans over there is the band.
Well, Dunbar's crowd's been down all year long. I've been following their Twitter, and their student section keeps tweeting out, said, hey, we need to come out a little bit stronger, especially for our number one boys team.
Yeah, I think the boys game tonight, Lafayette and Catholic boys, will be a pretty good crowd. To the basket. Boy, this Hereford girl can play, Williams. She's got 13.
I'm telling you, and she's got that famous last name there. It's going to be a name you're going to remember.
She's only a junior. Averages 12 points. She's got her average already. She's got 13 above her average. 34-26, 2:19 in the third quarter. Wrap around by Ballard. Ballard bounces, and here's a high-arcing three-pointer out of the left side. Won't go for Mayo Given.
She took the cue shot, didn't hit it. She's going for the corner, Gary.
The corner pocket.
The corner pocket, that's right.
2:12 here in the third. 34-26. I tell you what, the Jock Sutherland Classic we did here a couple weeks ago, this place was packed.
Yeah, it was.
All three games. Well, Owen County travels, don't they?
They sure do.
Mercer County travels. Hereford trying to go down low and back out to Cecil, 10-footer, and that skips off the iron. No, nice rebound by Sarah Bond. Bond leads it out to her teammate Milo Given.
The big difference when you talk about Owen County or Mercer County or Woodford County even is that's the only school that's in those counties.
Yeah, that's true. That
is a big difference.
Makes a difference.
Huge difference.
Lexington's got so many high schools. I mean, when you count Sayre and all the other private schools, that you don't hear much about, like Trinity Baptist and the Lexington School, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
A lot of and they're building a new high school out off Winchester Road that opens in the fall of next year?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's going to be – it'll be interesting to see how that affects, Bryan Station and Henry Clay.
Yeah, I think that's who it will impact the most, quite frankly, because of the location.
Mm-hmm.
A minute 15 here in the third. Gary Ball, William Warfield here on PrepSpin. Been a good girls game between Dunbar and Catholic. Down low to Osborne. Goes left with the left hand. What a nice move by Sarah Bond.
Yeah, that was the feel for the basketball court, the feel for the defender.
Cecil's three-pointer, no good. Knocked down, no calls. And
down goes Frazier up here.
Down goes Frazier, yeah.
We had a couple of people slip up there, looks like. But
yep.
Passionate fans here.
Cheyenne Fullwood back in, and Ella Simpson going out for Dunbar. Yeah, that was a nice move down there by Sarah Bond.
It's hard to believe Catholic up to a 10-point lead right now.
Rattled in by Peyton Humphrey, second basket for Peyton, and it's 36-28. 48 seconds with it in the backcourt. Lexington Catholic, and that's Ballard. Ballard drives the right side, cut off. Kicks it back out to Pinkerman. Back to Ballard, down to 36 seconds.
Gary, these two played two very, very close games during the regular season. And you remember the shot hurt around the bluegrass. Now, we talked about the dunk with Owen County. The dunk hurt around the bluegrass or felt around the bluegrass.
By Carson Williams, yeah.
What a shot felt in Fayette County was when Sarah Bond knocked down that three with 0.4 seconds or something like that left.
Gibbons three. She lined it up nicely. Wouldn't go for her, though. Down to 10 seconds. And strong move and a charge called there on Dunbar, and it's going to be on Cotton, excuse me.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That's what happens when you drive the truck in the lane and you don't watch out for the speed bumps.
That was like Charles Barkley going to the basket. Get out of my way.
She looked back at the ref and said, that's terrible. She thought it was going to go on her way, didn't she?
I think so. 36-28, 7 seconds, and Caroline Osborne's back in there. She's got the ball and launches from way outside, and it's off the rim, no good. But we go to the fourth quarter, great quarter, particularly by Lakin Pinkerman with 7 points in the first 3 minutes of that third quarter, and the lead is 36-28 for the Lady Knights against Dunbar. We'll come back with the final quarter of the girls' game. Boys' game coming up at 8 o'clock between Lafayette and Catholic boys with Nate Valentine will join us for that one. We'll return here on PrepSpin, the White Greer Maggard High School basketball game of the week.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
Back for the final quarter here at the 43rd District. And the winner moves on to play in the District Championship Friday night at 6:15 right here on PrepSpin. And tomorrow night's lineup looks like this. Lafayette girls will take on the Lexington Christian girls at 6:15. And then Dunbar will play Lexington Christian boys at 8 o'clock. Both those games right here. I'll be along to help to call the boys game, but I've got my TV show to tape tomorrow night at 7. So I'll be hustling to get back here to Lafayette for that boys game, William, tomorrow night. Looking forward to working with you.
Take your time getting over here, but be ready to bring it again, Gary Ball. It's going to be a good one tomorrow night.
Yep, it sure will. Caroline Osborne, she's bringing it tonight, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
To the basket, speaking of bringing it, blocked away there, though, by Cotton, but she gets it right back. Goes now to Ballard. Ballard looking, Freebus cutting through. She doesn't find her. Looking over to Jankowski. Bounces to Caroline Osborne. Osborne skips it over now to Ashley Freebus. Freebus. A lot of good young players on this Catholic team, aren't there?
There is. Yeah.
Ballard working on Hereford, throws it up, no. And good job there by Ballard to draw the foul. Remember, it was Ballard who got things going with those 2 early threes for the Lady Knights to get their offensive surge going, and then she finished with 6 points. So she's looking for her first point since early in this ball game with these 2 free throws.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the teams in the 43rd, as far as the girls go, are set up for the future. There are a lot of young teams out there.
Yeah, we saw that from Creek.
Yeah, Tate's Creek, LCA.
LCA.
Lexington Catholic.
Knocks down the second with his Ballard.
And quite honestly, Lafayette's got some superstars coming up through the...
Yes, they do. They got an 8th grader that Allie Denton raves about.
Yep.
Hereford. Good pass back, and teammate lays it up and in. Peyton Humphreys. Great assist by Autumn Hereford. 37-30. It's going down to the wire, folks. I'm telling you. 6:58 to play. Don't leave this one here. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Lex Cath Lafayette boys. Ball knocked away from Ballard. Good defense there by Autumn Hereford.
She's a player, man. Hereford, just an outstanding athlete down there for Dunbar.
13 points for her. Timeout on the court. Full timeout. 6:50 to play. 37-30. Lexington Catholic leading Dunbar here on the PrepSpin Game of the Week. Brought to you by White, Greer, and Maggard. We'll be back after this. Folks, this is Gary Ball, and you hear my catchphrase, soup and a sandwich. When I want the best potato soup and prime rib sandwich, I head over to Rafferty's Restaurants after my games. Check out Rafferty's 9 great locations throughout Kentucky, and all you teens, you can eat at Rafferty's before those big ball games. The open prime rib sandwich is what legends are made of. Ask Joe B. Hall, the legend himself, it's his favorite. Rafferty's a big supporter of high school sports throughout Kentucky. Rafferty's, where the special is you. Gary Ball, William Moorfield back here on PrepSpin. Remember, all our games are archived, so tell your friends and family that are watching this, they can go back and watch it anytime on PrepSpin.com. That's a great, really, luxury you have here on PrepSpin, isn't it, William?
Oh, yeah, everything available on demand. And again, thanks to our fine sponsors for allowing us to make that available for everybody. Good block there by Humphrey. Second time in this half that she's been able to block the shot there, Miss Sarah Bond. Great for keepsakes, too, isn't it? It really is. Looking for cutters. Osborne kicks it over now to Ballard. Jankowski back over to Freebus. 6 minutes and 32 seconds to play. Lexington Catholic 37. Wide open Freebus and in and out. Nice rebound by Peyton Humphreys. 37-30. Cecil, who's really struggled in this game. She started out pretty well with 7 points early
William, but she has missed her last 6 shots. Hereford has picked it up, though, hasn't she? She's picked up the slack. Cecil to Humphreys, over to Autumn Hereford. She's open from 3, but won't take it. Kicks it back out to Cotton. 6 minutes to play. Winner goes to the district finals Friday night at 6:15. Hereford to the basket, in and out. Ballard there battling. They give it right side, and the shot won't go there. Cotton battling. Ball tipped around, and Caroline Osborne hustles and tracks it down. Gives it the first. Great hustle there by Caroline.
It's a senior don't want to go home right there.
Steal by Dunbar. Simpson had it. Gives it up to Autumn Hereford. There's Shay Cecil over to Autumn Hereford. She can't dribble now. She already bounced it down once. Humphreys over to Hereford. Sarah Bond on her defensively. And timeout called by the official. Yeah, somebody's got some blood work in there.
Yeah, there's a nosebleed, it looks like.
Yeah, so they'll get her over to the trainer and get that.
Speaking of that, we need to thank UK Sports Medicine. Is that right?
Yes, UK Sports Medicine. We'll try to grab one of their trainers at halftime of the boys' game tonight. UK Sports Medicine. They've got the walk-in clinic. So UK Sports Medicine and orthopedic surgery. Sponsor here. Let's mention all of our sponsors again. We'll be
we're in our TV timeout here.
White Greer Maggard, All Sports the Fayette Mall, Whitaker Bank, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Bob Roberts and all the staff over on Main Street. They insure half the state of Kentucky. Bob Roberts Insurance, Central Bank, Rafferty's Restaurants, UK Sports Medicine. Rob Ullery, the outreach director now from UK Sports Medicine. You can see them every Saturday noon on the Scholastic Ball Report. Madison Central, our team of the week this week. Scholar athletes from Model, features, highlights from all the tournament action. Saturdays at noon on the CW, William, the Scholastic Ball Report in our 13th season of that show.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's amazing. That's phenomenal. That's not good. It's not great. It's phenomenal.
I'm glad you didn't say terrible.
No, I'm not terrible.
I know. Yeah, that is. It's a long time. We're proud of it. This fall will be our 14th season.
They need to give you another half-hour time slot in there and make it an hour show, though. That's my only thing is I wish it was a little bit longer because I enjoy watching it.
It does when you turn it on. It is over pretty quickly, isn't it?
Well, you got all those sponsors supporting you. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I appreciate all those folks. Of course, Whitaker Bank, one of our big sponsors. We got several of them. And Panel Swim Shop.
Rick Panel.
Central Bank. UK Sports Medicine, just to mention a few. P-Rats, Bruce P-Rat, my good friend Bruce P-Rat at P-Rats. I got to get me one of those smart televisions so I can watch these games on that big TV.
There you go. I bought me a smart television and figured out very quickly how smart it was.
That it's smarter than you?
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried. If I get one, it'll be smarter than me. Just 4:55 to go in his 43rd district, 37-30. Big possession here for Dunbar. Autumn Hereford, boy, she's triple team, dumps it wide open and laid up and in by Cotton.
That was just a great pass right there.
Great dump, wasn't it?
It was.
37-32. Catholic's lead, which was 11, is now just 5 points, cut in half. Caroline Osborne spinning, hands it now, and that's going to be a foul. She handed off to Sarah Bond.
Yeah, Sarah ran right into the Dunbar player, but the Dunbar player moving though.
And that is the 6th-team foul against Dunbar, so the next foul Dunbar commits will be the bonus. Only 2 team fouls have been committed. That's why this game has been so rapid. Down low, and there's another foul. And
yes, yesterday now they caught a ton of fouls in those games.
Zukowski will go to the line. Foul went on Cotton. That's 3 on Anaya Cotton. That's 17 fouls, so it's a bonus for Maya Jankowski. In and out. Rebounded by Cotton. Boy, I tell you what, if Dunbar would knock down a 3 here, this would get very, very interesting.
I think it's going to get interesting.
Even if she makes a bucket to the basket, Hereford almost made that one go. She'll go to the line, so Autumn Hereford will shoot 2 free throws. She has 13 points, and if you're keeping score at home, that leads everybody. 9 for Osborne, but she's been stuck on that, William. Caroline had 9 at halftime. Pinkerman came out and put 7 on the board very quickly for the Knights. Hereford's got 14 now to lead everybody. 37-33. Lexington Catholic by 4. 4:19 to play here on PrepSpin, the 43rd District Basketball Tournament. Gary Ball, William Warfield, and she got them both. 15 for Autumn Hereford, the 5'11 junior.
It's a three-point affair right now.
And a turnover. Hereford caused a turnover there as they tried to go into Ballard, and Hereford was able to get the turnover for Dunbar. They'll get it back with a chance to tie here with a three. Cotton swing it over to Hereford. She works in, and there's going to be a reaching foul called. That's only going to be the third team foul against Catholic, or excuse me, fourth team foul, and we're going to get a timeout.
The last 15 seconds of this ball game is taking about a minute, probably about a minute and a half to take away there. So there's still 4:11 left to go in this one, Mr. Ball.
Yeah, 4:11, 37-34. Timeout called by Lexington Catholic. Coming up at 8 o'clock, it'll be the Catholic boys, and they will take on Lafayette. Nate Valentine will join me for that one, the LCA coach. Will sit in on the broadcast. Tomorrow night, Dr. White from White, Greer, and Maggard is going to sit in on the boys' game between Lexington Christian boys and Dunbar. Boy, that should be a good one tomorrow night, Lexington Christian boys and Dunbar boys.
Should be a real good one.
Lafayette will take on Lexington Christian girls before that.
Well, tomorrow night you got the now versus the future, I think, and that's how that one should be built up.
The present and the past. Cotton hands it to Cecil. 4 minutes, 37-34. Nick Runyon calling for motion. Cecil, I don't see a whole lot of motion. Now I do. There's Hereford. She can tie it, and she does.
What a shot.
17 for Autumn Hereford. And a steal. Cecil's got it. Throws it up, and it rattles in. Dunbar has the 39-37 lead.
Momentum shift.
Quickly the other way it goes now. And to the basket and rolls off of there. And battling for it, Humphreys was able to get a ball. Wide open shot for Pinkerman. And Pinkerman's had such a great half and couldn't get that one to roll. That would have tied it up. 39-37 Dunbar. Big three by Autumn Hereford to give them the lead. Then the shot by Shayla Cecil. Hereford. And we're going to have a grab, and that's going to be called on Pinkerman. So all of a sudden, Catholic girls with 5 team fouls. So they've still got a couple to give here, though. One more anyway before the bonus. Freebus back in, Pinkerman out. Another district tournament game going down to the wire. What's new? 39-37. Cecil being double teamed there by Jankowski. Now Ballard helps out. Loops it to Humphreys. Over to Hereford. She goes baseline and throws it up. Ballard cut into the lane but lost the ball out of bounds. But a great heads-up play there by Ballard to make sure that there's no easy shot there for Nia Cotton.
Yeah, that was good awareness by Ballard. No doubt about that. Otherwise, that's an easy basket for Dunbar.
Humphreys hands it to Autumn Hereford. Hereford top of the circle. Hands it to Peyton Humphreys. Right side to Fullwood. She tries to save it back and does. And then Cecil throws it up and in off balance. 11 for Cecil. She had been struggled. She had missed like 8 shots in a row. Now she's made her last 2 at crunch time. Right side, Jankowski shot won't go. Battle for it. Fullwood pulls it down. 41-37. Just 2:23 to go. Well, Catholic was in total control this game, William Warfield. They led by 11 points, and now Dunbar all of a sudden's up 4. 41-37. Hereford. Wide opens Cotton. She hangs and puts it in.
Did Catholic change their defensive strategy? That's the question. I think they switched what they were doing on defense.
2:03, still plenty of time, but Dunbar with a big-time spurt here. They are on a 13-0 run, William. It was 37-30 Catholic. It's 43-37 Dunbar. 13-0 run here by the Lady Bulldogs. They've been sparked by Hereford, also by Cecil and Cotton. 43-37 thanks to White, Greer, and Maggard. Thanks to All Sports and the Fayette Ball. So Whitaker Bank, Raising Cane's, Roberts, all the sponsors here tonight. And, of course, if you want 11th Region Tournament basketball, catch it all right here, boys and girls, on PrepSpin. Looking forward to the 11th Region. This will be my 15th 11th Region Tournament. I've covered either radio or with William on PrepSpin coming up next week.
You're working on that Hall of Fame plaque, I think. I think you've been around long enough to earn that, Mr. Ball. They better start considering you.
I appreciate it, William. Of course, you know.
I know you're already in Northern Kentucky. I was going to say, but I'm talking about the big one, Mr. Ball. I don't think there's no doubt about it. You're a surefire to get in there.
I appreciate it, William. Across the line is Osborne to the basket, hanging and scoring, and she will get the soup and the sandwich.
That's what you call answering when you're knocked into the corner.
She could make it a one-possession basketball game. Osborne now with double figures with 11. She's got a double-double, William. She's got 11 points and 10 rebounds. Caroline trying to make it a one-possession game, and she does. Of course, she's an 80% free throw shooter, so she's very solid up there. We've got a one-possession game, 43-40. Dunbar with the lead, 1:48 to go in regulation. Do we have another one heading overtime? Cecil down low, and Humphreys missed it, rebounded though by Fullwood. She throws it up, no, and ripped out of there. Jump ball called. Possession arrow will give it back to Dunbar. Sarah Bond saying, how's that not a foul?
That could, that still could play big for Catholic, though, coming down the stretch with 1:36 left. It's probably good that they've got that possession arrow on their side now.
That's a very good point, William. Very good point. Pass goes left side to Humphreys. Humphrey hands it back to Autumn Hereford. There's no doubt Hereford's been the spark plug.
Oh, yeah, she's been the force, I think, especially in the second half.
Yeah. 18 points, 10 here in the second half, William, for Autumn Hereford.
I've been watching Star Wars a lot, so the force has been with me.
Yeah, I love that new Star Wars. I saw that over the Christmas break, and there's going to be a foul, and it's going to go on Cotton, and it'll be her fourth.
She doesn't like the call, but she was definitely over the back there.
That's 4 on Cotton, and that will send the Knights to the line. They're not in the double bonus, but you put Caroline Osborne up there. She's almost automatic. We've got a 43-40 ball game between Lex Cath and Paul Lawrence Dunbar Lady Bulldogs.
You know who's been quiet, too, here in the last few minutes is Sarah Bond, and she's the one that hit that big three over at Catholic, remember, and knocked out Dunbar the other,
Oh, yes.
It was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
About 3 weeks. I do remember. Remember, we called that one.
Yeah, we did.
And she missed a second one, tapped around, and picked up by Peyton Humphreys. 43-41, uncharacteristic miss there for Caroline Osborne. 1:03 to play. 43-41. Dunbar 2-point lead and the basketball. That's Shea Cecil with it, pounding it down. Cecil back to them now, works in on Freebus. Over to Hereford. Dunbar's got a 2-point lead. They can take their time here with that 2-point lead. Hereford back to Fullwood, and Coach Nick Runyon wants a timeout.
Well, very important, too. Catholic's got 2 fouls to give. So I don't know if you play around with that right now, or I almost think you have to, don't you, Gary?
Yeah, I think you do. They've got 2 fouls to give. You don't want to do that until the game. If it comes down to you need the ball, say you're still down 2 and you need to make it, you're going to foul then and say, okay, they're not going to shoot free throws yet. So I would save it to that point, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
To where you can foul them and not let them shoot free throws, because they've only committed 5 team fouls. 43-41. And Caroline Osborne made 1 of 2. She has a dozen points now to lead Catholic. But Autumn Hereford, she leads everybody. I show her on my sheet, unofficial, with 18 points.
Big game. Big game.
And at halftime, she had on the stat sheet, Hereford had 3 rebounds. So I'm sure she's got 7-8 rebounds to go with those 18 points. And like you mentioned earlier, she dishes the ball well. She's got several assists as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's definitely created some offensive strikes there for Dunbar.
4s are wild on that scoreboard, aren't they?
They are.
44.4 seconds, 43-41. Dunbar on top of the Lady Knights of Lexington Catholic. How about that?
That's right. The difference in fouls was 4, too.
Cotton gets it in. That's right. Cotton gets it in backcourt to Cecil.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, you threw it out there. I caught it. Cecil. I had the glove on. And timeout Nick Runyon. Boy, he's right on top of it. And he, the first-year head coach, took over for Sarah Bridenball, who's now assistant commissioner of the KHSAA, and she managed bowling, which how about that? I announced the bowling a couple weeks ago at the Eastern Bowling Lanes.
That's what I heard. I heard that I heard they ended up calling you over there and saying, hey, Gary, you want to come do it full-time over here at Collins?
Did they really?
That's what I heard.
Anyway, that didn't happen. But anyway, it was fun. I enjoyed it. And how about Scott Thompson, our good friend, the coach at South Warren?
Yeah.
His boy won the state championship.
That's what I heard. The story went like this. They said that, hey, we got these Saturday night get-togethers over here all night bowling, and we want Gary Ball to come over here and call our league.
Well, you know what? Like I told Jason, for the right fee, anything can happen. Right? Am I right?
That's right.
All right, let's see what happens here. 35 seconds, 43-41 Dunbar. Ball goes off the chest of Cheyenne Fullwood, but saved by Cecil. And she's tied up, and that's what you were talking about.
That's right.
The possession error.
Yep.
And I got Nostradamus working with me up here.
Coach True knew he had it in his bag of tricks over there, and that's exactly what just happened.
Or Kreskin. Are you Kreskin? Both of them were prophets. Okay, cross the line, Caroline Osborne. 21 seconds. They need a bucket to tie. 43-41 Dunbar. Osborne to the basket. Throws it up. No. And knocked out of bounds. And it's going to be last. Cotton touched it last. It goes back to the Lady Knights.
Yeah, the Knights caught a break right there. Osborne kind of forced that shot, so you're going to have to get a better look than that.
Hey, how about lining up Miss Sarah Bond for a three-pointer here like they did over at their place a few weeks ago when she won the game? You know what I'm talking about?
Well, we talked about it twice here tonight. I got a feeling, Gary. I just got a feeling. Could she do it to Dunbar in this time in their season?
Knock them out of the tournament. It's the 43rd District. Boys game coming up at 8 o'clock. Lafayette and Catholic boys coming up at 8 o'clock. Nate Valentine's going to join me for that broadcast.
Or on the other hand, could Dunbar survive here and knock Catholic out?
Nick Runyon, first-year coach at Paul Dunbar, trying to get his first tournament win ever. Scott True, of course, had a lot of success over at George Rogers Clark when he was the girls' coach over there. Had a lot of big seasons over there. They're just good in basketball over there in Winchester, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah. GRC. I always refer to them as Clark County. I know they're GRC, but
you remember the kid that they used to call the Next Rex? I don't know how he panned out, but the young kid over there that was a basketball star. I'm trying to think what his name was. I know you're
not talking about Vinny Zolo, are you?
No, not Zolo. It was on the team that Zolo played on though that last year.
Oh yeah. He had a brother. There was two of them. He had a brother.
Yeah, he had a brother. Yeah.
Down low, Caroline throws it up. No, tapped up. No. Battle for it. Cotton still picked up and jump ball called. And this time with 6.5, it'll be Dunbar possession with a possession arrow.
And Dunbar's wanting a timeout.
Yeah, they finally see Coach Runyon. He had a timeout left, and they get the timeout. 6.5 seconds.
Catholics, and this is where Catholic should have probably fouled, because 6.5 seconds, you still got 2 fouls to give before you can send Dunbar to the line.
6.5, 43-41. The winner moves on to the district championship Friday night against tomorrow night's Lafayette Lexington Christian winner. Coming up tonight, it'll be Lafayette and Lexington Catholic boys at 8 o'clock, and then tomorrow night it'll be Lexington Christian girls, Lafayette girls, 6:15, 8 o'clock. It will be the Paul Dunbar boys, one of the top teams in the state, taking on Lexington Christian at 8 o'clock.
Well, here's what you're going to see right here is Catholic's going to commit a foul before the ball gets inbounds. I can almost guarantee it, just because of the time situation up there. So you're going to see a lot of pushing going on here from Lexington Catholic.
6.5. 43-41. Well, Lexington Catholic led 37-30, and we've been stuck. Quite frankly, Dunbar's been stuck on 43 for a little while, but they had a 13-0 run there to take a 43-37 lead. So the last 6 points have been scored by.
I'm surprised no foul.
Cecil's got it, 3 seconds, and she's going to be fouled on the side court there. She runs over top of Jankowski.
What Catholic did coming out of the timeout right there is they tried to force, going down the line there and get the charge, but it didn't work out for them.
Cecil is going to be grabbed, and grabbing her will be Ballard with 0.9 of a second. Probably not enough time for Lexington Catholic, and it looks like Dunbar is going to move on to the 43rd District Final on Friday night.
Yeah, this one's done, I think.
Especially if she knocks down both these free throws. If she makes one, I just don't see how Catholic can even get off a long shot. I guess it's possible. Free throw rolls in there for Miss Cecil. She now has 12 points. She averages 20. This game's over. She hit them both, 45-41. And Sarah Bond would throw it full court. It hits a girl coming in the door over there. Hope she's okay. But 45-41, the victory for Dunbar. Dunbar girls advance. We'll come back and we will give you the final numbers and wrap it up. 8 o'clock is the boys' game. That's coming up in about a half an hour. The boys' game, 45-41. Dunbar knocks Lexington Catholic out of the 43rd District Girls. Dunbar will play in the district championship Friday night at 6:15 against either Lafayette or LCA. We will come back. We'll wrap this one up here on PrepSpin thanks to White, Greer, and Maggard, our title sponsor.
All S, all P, all O, R-T, S-Sports. Pick it up at all sports. Pick it up at all sports.
In Fayette Mall on Facebook and Twitter, locally owned and operated since 1972.
Back here to wrap it up, and the Dunbar Lady Bulldogs 45-41 over Langston Catholic. The Lady Night season has ended here tonight. They led 37-30, but a 13-0 run by Dunbar, sparked by Autumn Hereford, was the key scorer down the lane at the end of that ball game. 45-41, 43rd District basketball, and the win goes to Paul Dunbar over Lexington Catholic. Coming up, the Lafayette Lexington Catholic boys game will tip at about 8 o'clock or so here at the Jackson Carlisle Gymnasium here at Lafayette. We'll come back with that one. Nate Valentine, the Lexington Christian Academy coach, is going to join me on that broadcast, so looking forward to that. We've got some final numbers here. Can I give some final numbers real quick, Mr. Warfield? Thank you, Gary. Final numbers of this ball game, and boy, a couple great, outstanding Catholic girls in their careers here tonight, particularly when you look at Caroline Osborne. 13 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double, which we predicted without looking at the stat sheet, and looking at our outstanding player that we talk about so much, Sarah Bond. She struggled tonight, unfortunately. 1 for 8 from the field, 2 points, but she did have 4 rebounds. But Sarah, well, you hate to see Sarah struggle in her last game as a Knight, because she was certainly a great player over the years. And looking at other scores, Maya Jazuski had 8 points. You had, as we said, Osborne with 13. Jay Ballard had 7. Pinkerman had 7, all 7 in the first 3 minutes of the second half. And they shot 42% at Catholic from the field. They actually got out-rebounded 30-26. They had a nice little lead there at halftime in the rebounding category. And listen to this game, by the way. I missed a bucket by Miss Hereford. Autumn Hereford, 20 points and 6 rebounds and 5 assists for Hereford. So she does her job tonight with those 20 points. 13 for Shay Cecil. She also had 2 rebounds. 6 for Cotton, and total of 45. So those are some numbers from the game. William and I will be back with Nate Valentine to coach Lexington Christian. We'll have some pregame show, and it'll be the Lexington Catholic Knights and the Lafayette Generals here. And the victory here goes to Dunbar Girls 45-41. For William Warfield, Gary Ball, thanks for watching the White Greer Maggard game on PrepSpin. We'll be back with the boys game here in about 15-20 minutes here on PrepSpin.com. Thanks for watching tonight, the White Greer Maggard game of the week.
So long.